shoulder. Seeing this, the warriors scream that Dorgan is finally under attack. Daesuk fires another burst, then rushes forward with his shotgun, and the crowd urges him to finish it. Daesuk keeps on firing with his shotgun, but gets shocked when he realizes that Dorgan is still standing and his wounds are healing instantly. Seeing this, Hildert laughs and says he wants to see how far Daesuk can fight against Dorgan, and then commands Dorgan to focus on Daesuk. Hearing this, Dorgan instantly obeys and charges towards Daesuk, but Daesuk quickly moves away before Dorgan closes in. Just then, Ashley appears at his side and warns him that Dorgan is coming him, to which Daesuk steps back to gain distance, making Ashley curious about his plan. As Dorgan's massive arm swings toward him, Daesuk sidesteps and pushes the limb aside. Then he spins and points his shotgun at Dorgan's helmeted head and fires, which hits Dorgan, and its huge form crashes to the ground. The warriors start cheering while Ashley and Lena rush to Daesuk to celebrate his success. Daesuk explains that the shotgun didn't do massive damage, but when he aimed at the helmet, it delivered a powerful shock that went straight to Dorgan's brain and knocked him out. He says that the brain can't be trained the same way, even if the body is too strong. Daesuk assures Lena and Ashley that after that last shot, Dorgan wouldn't be able to move for a while. But to his shock, Dorgan rises again like a glitched zombie and launches a fierce attack that barely misses Daesuk, and he counters with a close-range shotgun blast to Dorgan's head, but it still doesn't go down. This confuses Daesuk, and he wonders how Dorgan is still moving after a direct headshot. Just then, Dorgan lands a heavy elbow strike that sends Daesuk crashing across the ground and knocks him unconscious. Lena sees him on the ground and calls out to him in panic, but he doesn't respond. Meanwhile, Hildert celebrates Dorgan's victory with a big grin. Just then, Dorgan's helmet falls off, and the entire arena gets silent in shock when they see that Dorgan has no face and his head is solid stone. The warriors are when they realize that Dorgan isn't human. Even Ashley stares in disbelief when she realizes what they've been fighting till now. Hildert laughs at their reactions and says that a human like Dorgan never existed, and reveals that Dorgan is a stone golem that is powered by Hildert's own life force. Hearing this, the crowd gets shocked too. Just then, Hildert's servant urges him to stop the match and warns him that without the helmet, the golem will regain its original strength, and that would be really bad, but Hildert doesn't care and refuses to stop. It turns out, stone golems are creatures made entirely of rock, and they don't have a mind of its own. It has terrifying strength and nearly impenetrable defense. Seeing Dorgan's power, the remaining warriors begin to scream and try to flee. But it's too late, and Dorgan's shadow looms over them, and after that, a massive explosion erupts. Everyone in the arena gets panicked, and people try to run to save their lives. But despite all the chaos, Daesuk is still lying motionless on the ground. Just then, the restaurant owner runs up to Lena and begs her to escape with them. But Lena refuses and says they can't let the golem escape. Ashley agrees with her and reminds them that they'll lose the prize if they don't win. After that, Lena charges toward Dorgan, and the other warriors also join in to help, but get blown away effortlessly, and it makes the rest of them lose hope. Ashley starts to panic and thinks that there's a golem on the loose, and Daesuk is down, so it's impossible to get Ethan out of the arena. While the golem keeps attacking, Hildert is still celebrating like a madman and is excited by the sight of destruction. Just then, Harabatus checks on Daesuk, who finally regains consciousness. Harabatus tells him that Drogon is a golem, and Daesuk slowly regains his focus. He reaches into his inventory and pulls out something that catches Harabatus off guard. Meanwhile, Hildert continues commanding the golem to attack, with its primary target being Lena. She fails to block the strike and falls to the ground. Seeing this, Ashley rushes in and whips the golem while commanding it to stop. Hildert laughs maniacally and says that nothing can stop his creation, but suddenly, a part of the golem's shoulder explodes. Hildert is stunned and doesn't understand what just happened, and as the smoke settles down, everyone sees Daesuk lying on the ground, holding the dream weapon of every pub player. Lena and Ashley light up with joy when they see he's okay, and Harbiotis praises Daesuk too. But Daesuk says he missed the shot and tells them that it is his first time using this gun and promises the next shot won't miss. Hildert watches from above and says that he can't believe Daesuk is still alive and is wielding something that can hurt his prized golem. Then he commands the golem to take Daesuk out right away, and the golem charges forward, but Daesuk remains calm and waits for the perfect moment. As the golem gets close, Daesuk fires his massive rifle, and the shot tears the golem's arm clean off, and its limbs fall to the ground with such force that they nearly knock everyone over. Seeing this, the crowd gasps in shock, and Hildert screams in horror at the sight of his prized golem's destruction. Meanwhile, Harabatus rushes through the crowd and asks Daesuk about the weapon. Daesuk tells him that it's the Barrett M82 anti-material rifle that is built to shoot through targets that ordinary rifles and machine guns can't touch, and it has enough power to stop armored vehicles and attack helicopters. Hildert shouts angrily and vows to take revenge on Daesuk. Just then, the golem gets up and charges again despite its missing arm. Lena spots the golem's movement and shouts for Daesuk to fire once more, to which he shoots another round and takes out one of the golem's legs, and the golem collapses onto the arena floor with a loud thud. Seeing this, Hildert lets out a loud scream while the crowd erupts in cheers and comments that Daesuk has actually done it. Ashley also admires Daesuk's skills, while Lena rushes to Daesuk's side and asks if he's hurt. In response, Daesuk only grunts in pain, to which Herodias kneels beside him and realizes that Daesuk has been firing despite having both legs broken by the golem's earlier attack. Hearing this, Daesuk asks if he can help him get up, while Ashley speaks up and declares that Daesuk is the winner of the match. Just then, Lena notices a new group of warriors moving toward them. She and Ashley step forward to block the path and warn them that anyone who wants to beat Daesuk will have to get through them first. One of the warriors steps up and admits they wouldn't dare because they know Daesuk is far out of their league. Another warrior says that it gives him the creeps that someone like Daesuk exists in their world. Meanwhile, Hildert is working harder than your brain during finals and begins to cast a spell and orders his golem to rise again. Everyone watches in shock as rocks and stones float into the air and massive chunks of earth swirl around to piece the golem back together. The warriors in the arena start to panic as they see the golem being revived. Even Hildert's own servant begs him to stop and warns him that this is reckless. His servant reveals that the golem was originally created by their country's greatest sorcerer, Grem, using the most advanced magic techniques. He warns Hildert again and tells him that forcing the golem back like this will make it unstable and dangerous. But Hildert doesn't listen and tells him to shut up. Then he glares at Daesuk and blames him for the destruction of the golem gifted by their king. Meanwhile, the golem keeps forming, and this time it grows even bigger. Seeing this, the warriors start arguing with Hildert and say that the match is already over, and demand the prize. However, Hildert refuses and tells them he doesn't care about the tournament anymore, and all he wants now is to send Daesuk 6 feet under. Meanwhile, the giant golem rushes forward and aims for Daesuk again, but Lena steps up and tells Daesuk that she and Ashley will handle it. Herodias acts like a low-budget action hero and steps forward, too, and announces himself as Golem's opponent. But when he sees how massive it is, he panics and grabs Daesuk and carries him away from the golem as fast as he can. While running, Herodias tells Daesuk that the only thing that worked before was his big attack, but he knows it'll be hard for Daesuk to fight in his injured state. Meanwhile, the farmers who were forced to fight find a way to escape, and seeing this, Ashley tells Ethan to leave with them, but Ethan hesitates and asks why she isn't leaving too. Ashley just smiles and says there are people she can't leave and tells him to go, and reminds him that his mother is waiting. Back in the arena, the golem is smashing the remaining warriors, and Hildert watches in excitement and yells at everyone to run for their lives. Meanwhile, Ashley joins Lena and tells her they need to distract the golem and reveals that the golem isn't moving on its own, but is being controlled by Hildert. She says that if they can break Hildert's focus or get Daesuk out of sight, they can buy some time. Lena quickly understands and promises to do her best, and then stops for a moment and praises Ashley. Hearing this, Ashley blushes and yells at her to hurry up with a serious face. After that, Ashley gets ready to cast a powerful spell, and a bright light gathers around her. She activates her cursed crest and asks it for strength. Meanwhile, Lena launches her sonic zapper straight at Hildert, which doesn't hurt him, but it does draw his attention. Hildert laughs at her and calls her a foolish knight for thinking such an attack would stop him. Then he promises to slay her after he's done with Daesuk. But when he looks around, he realizes that Daesuk has already disappeared like the last slice of pizza. Suddenly, a heavy thumping sound shakes the entire arena, which makes the warriors panic, and they wonder what new horror is coming. Just then, a massive shadow appears through the smoke, and as the dust clears, Drogon is standing there in its armor. Everyone is shocked and confused while Lena turns to see something happening to Ashley and starts to believe all of this might be her doing. As the two Drogons prepare to face each other, Lena can only wonder what Ashley truly is. Everyone is stunned as another Dorgan appears in the arena, and Hildert says in disbelief that there can only be one Dorgan, and it belongs to him alone. Just then, Hildert's stone golem starts launching boulders at the armored golem, but the attacks also hurt the nearby warriors, who panic and yell for everyone to run before they die. The armored golem lets out a mighty roar and strikes the stone golem with a powerful fist, which shocks Hildert, who cannot understand what is happening. Meanwhile, Lena tries to call out to Ashley, but Ashley is completely focused on casting her spell. Just then, one of the villagers rushes out of the arena to inform the village elder that someone with the cursed crest has appeared. Hearing this, the elder tells them to stay calm and reminds them that there is nothing they can do except banish the cursed one from their land, as cursed individuals will only bring misfortune. The elder reflects that Ashley must have known this fate would come. Scene shifts to Ashley, who reflects on her past and thinks that she was born a cursed child, something that happens very rarely because of an ancient curse placed on elves. She feels like she simply pulled the short end of the raffle. She grew up thinking she could never trust someone else's smile because the moment something became inconvenient, they would throw her away. One day, while she is having a fever, an old lady finds her and brings her into her home. Ashley wonders what the old lady is planning and why she would help her. Hearing this, the old lady only smiles and tells her about her own son, who was taken into the Colosseum. She knows she cannot do anything else for him and feels powerless. She believes that if she had 50 gold coins, she could free him, but she knows that for an old woman like her, it is almost impossible. She tells herself that the only reason she is still alive is because of her son, and then she starts to cry. Seeing this, Ashley realizes that the old lady still holds onto hope and decides that she will bring the old lady's son back no matter what it takes, and she will find a way to get 50 gold coins. Hearing this, the old lady looks at Ashley and wonders why she would go so far for someone she does not know, and Ashley tells her to make a promise that when her son returns, she must just hug him without saying anything. She thinks that no matter what, there is someone you should never let go of. Back to the present, the armored golem is still fighting the stone golem when Ashley notices that everyone has already escaped the arena, and she ends her spell. Seeing this, Hildert suddenly realizes that what he had been fighting was only an illusion, something that never even existed. He curses Ashley for tricking him, but Ashley remains calm and tells him that her cursed crest ability allows her to create image projections of anything she has seen, whether it is flying rocks, smoke, or even creatures. Hildert pieces it together and understands she is an illusion magic user. However, Ashley feels relaxed that everyone else has already escaped safely and says to him that he got exactly what he deserved. Hearing this, Hildert grows furious that she dared to look down on him and orders the golem to crush her. The golem obeys and charges straight toward Ashley. But Ashley remains calm and wonders if Ethan has already reunited with his mother. She thinks about Lena and Daesuk and feels that being able to meet people who were truly kind before her final moments is not such a bad life after all. Just then, the golem races forward and reaches out to capture her. Just as the stone golem grabs Ashley, Daesuk makes a wild entry from the top of the arena and quickly fires a shot that blasts away the part of the golem holding her. Haribodius, who is holding Daesuk, praises his timely shot, to which Daesuk says that he will end the battle once and for all. Hildert is stunned to see Daesuk back in action and curses under his breath. Meanwhile, Haribodius comments that he won't last long when he notices Daesuk's weakened state and his broken bones. Seeing this, Ashley wonders why Daesuk came back for her when he is already so injured and why he did not just abandon her. Meanwhile, Daesuk continues firing at the golem, and each bullet blasts away the chunks of its rocky body. Haribodius observes the battle and realizes that the shattered boulders keep returning to their original places because of the golem's regenerative magic. While Hildert laughs louder than a broken record and says that as long as he has the magic power, the golem can regenerate endlessly. Haribodius asks Daesuk if staying in that spot is safe and mentions that there is no way to escape if the golem reaches them. Hearing this, Daesuk says that from his current position, he can still aim accurately without moving. Haribodius then tells Daesuk that he spotted something inside the golem, and that is a small statuette hidden among the rocks, which seems to be its core. He says now that much of the outer boulders blasted away, the core has finally become visible. Daesuk quickly understands that the statuette is the golem's weakness. At the same time, outside the arena, one of the warriors informs the citizens that the opponent they are facing is not human at all, but a golem named Dorgan. As they look up, they see something massive falling from above. Inside the arena, the stone golem finally reaches the upper area where Daesuk and Haribodius are hiding. Hildert bursts into laughter and says that he has destroyed all exits and trapped them. He proudly says that he has finally won. Seeing this, Haribodius urgently asks Daesuk what he plans to do next. Daesuk remains calm and says that the structure of the area cannot support the golem's immense weight. Just as expected, the ground beneath the golem starts to crumble, unable to bear its mass, and the golem begins to slip. As the ground collapses, Haribodius realizes that this was Daesuk's plan all along. However, Daesuk admits that he cannot move anymore, but Haribodius encourages him to take the final shot. With the last of his strength, Daesuk aims his rifle at the exposed statuette inside the golem, and his bullet shatters the core in half. With its core destroyed, the remaining parts of the golem lose all strength and crash down from the top of the arena. The golem's massive body crumbles into rocks and falls right in front of Hildert. Seeing this, the villagers can't believe what they've just seen and praise Daesuk for defeating the golem. Meanwhile, Ashley rushes towards Daesuk and leans on him, then asks why he decided to return. Daesuk reassures her that he's glad she's alright and explains that he couldn't leave someone behind. After that, Ashley and Haribodius help Daesuk out of the arena and are shocked to see that the villagers are cheering for him and calling him the Golem Slayer. Haribodius announces that the danger has passed and that everyone can enjoy because the golem has been defeated. Just then, a woman approaches them and thanks Daesuk for saving her husband, who came back home safely. Other villagers join in and call him Golem Slayer and praise him for his incredible strength. Daesuk tries to downplay the situation and explains that he's just a simple salaryman and asks them to stop calling him by that title. Hearing this, the woman apologizes, and the other villagers start calling him Sir Salaryman. Seeing this, Daesuk gives up and smiles while Haribodius explains to him that it's natural for people to rely on the strong, and that the true meaning of being a hero is to respond kindly to others' admiration. Just then, Lena appears and asks if Daesuk is alright, to which Daesuk says he's glad she's safe as well. Lena thanks him and says that they're not exactly fine yet, and before they can continue, Hildert angrily storms over and asks how Daesuk could destroy his precious golem. Then he orders his men to apprehend Daesuk immediately and calls him a traitor to the country. However, the men hesitate and don't move forward to capture Daesuk. Hildert gets confused and asks what they're waiting for. Just then, someone throws a mug at him, which causes him to angrily shout at the person and threaten to imprison them under charges of treason. One of the villagers steps forward with main character vibes and says that they have Daesuk, who defeated Hildert's golem. At that moment, one of Hildert's servants arrives and informs him that the citizens have surrounded the mansion, and this news shocks Hildert. Hearing this, the villagers begin throwing objects at him, and one of them says that their lives have been ruined under his rule, and tells him to step down and let someone decent take over. All of the villagers insist that Hildert should leave the city. Seeing their rage, Hildert's servant suggests they leave before things get worse and urges him to return to their homeland. Hildert instantly climbs into his carriage and swears that he will never forget this humiliation and curses Daesuk. As Hildert leaves, the villagers start celebrating his departure. Meanwhile, Ethan finds his mother and runs to her and tells her about the elf who helped him in the Colosseum. Hearing this, the old woman remembers Ashley's words and hugs her son even tighter, while Ashley watches them from a distance, silently. Meanwhile, Daesuk is standing with a pouch in his hand that contains 100 gold coins. Ashley approaches him and reminds him of their agreement and says she'll take 50 coins. Lena advises Daesuk to keep the remaining 50 coins safe and says that there will be times when they might need money. Daesuk agrees and promises to keep it safe in his closet. Hearing this, Ashley tries to gaslight our hero and suggests that they double the money in the casino and asks Daesuk to hand it over. However, Lena immediately refuses and warns Daesuk not to give the money to Ashley. Just then, Haribodius calls out Daesuk and introduces himself as Haribodius Roman III and says that he sees Daesuk as a paragon. In response, Daesuk shakes his hand and presents his business card and explaining about the company he works for. Haribodius takes the card and calls it a strange letter that he has never seen in his life. Just then, a nurse approaches Daesuk and informs him that they need to treat the wounds on his legs immediately. Daesuk assures her that his wound is fine and says it will heal on its own. Then he quickly opens his portal, and Ashley is shocked to see the portal and wonders if it is teleportation magic. While Daesuk instantly enters the portal and waves his hand, Lena says that they will be waiting for him. Seeing this, Haribodius once again calls Daesuk the Strange One. After that, Lena tells Ashley to return her money, but Ashley just laughs carelessly without giving it back. Meanwhile, our old shooter steps into his world through his closet and notices that his body has healed. He recalls Krim's words that the teleportation gate will heal all wounds and fatigue every time he uses it. She told him that he should return if he ever gets hurt or tired before coming back. The next day, Daesuk is back at work in his office, and his co-workers are surprised to see him in such a good mood. The scene shifts to the castle of the Gurnia Empire, where Hildert is standing nervously before the king. Hildert apologizes for the recent events, and one of the king's knights comments that Hildert lost the golem that had been gifted to him by the king. Just then, another knight says that, according to the report, only one person was responsible for destroying the golem and sarcastically suggests that Hildert should come up with a more believable lie. Hearing this, Hildert protests and insists that he is telling the truth. Then he explains that the man who defeated the golem claimed to be a salaryman and used strange-looking weapons with unbelievable power. The king listens carefully and then orders his Black Knight, Zal, to find and capture the man, and the Black Knight immediately accepts the order. Who do you think the Black Knight is? Is he a monster like the magic golem or just a powerful knight? What kind of new gun do you think our salaryman will use to face this new threat? And if you're enjoying this story, comment pew pew for part 2, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more videos like these. See you in the next video.